Saber fans! This is Eric from Dark Path Media with an overview and tutorial for my new Saber font entitled Lightning. Lightning is the second installment in a collection of Metallica-themed fonts entitled The Full Arsenal, which will eventually include a Saber font inspired by each of Metallica's original studio albums. I produced a tutorial video for the first installment entitled Hardwired to demonstrate how a music-based font differs from a traditional Lightsaber font, so I won't repeat myself here. I have included a link to the Hardwired overview and tutorial video in the description below if you'd like to check that out. Additionally, given the color scheme of the effects in Lightning, RGBW versus RGBA LED is not a factor, so we don't need to spend time covering that. So, this will be an effects showcase more than a tutorial. I'll go through all of the sounds and synced LED effects included in the primary default font file, in addition to the multitude of additional sounds and effects included in the download. And to keep this video at a reasonable length, most of the time will be devoted to that. These font packages seem to get bigger and bigger every time. Lightning continues this unintended tradition, containing 183 sounds in WAV and LSU formats, 70 effects files, and 3 font files. Before we dive in, let's take a look at the completed product in action to see if Lightning is for you. Such as I did for Hardwired and Son of Darkness, I made a video that features each of the 183 sounds in succession, which is on screen now. Let's take a quick look at that. I have included a link to the full video in the description below. I also made a quick video of my Guardian Saber with the Lightning font installed, showing many of the included sounds as triggered by various motions. Let's check out a short segment. The sounds were cut, edited, and organized so that things flow together in a way sensible to musical composition. The methodology of how the sounds were categorized and assigned are as follows. The power-on sounds are typically the beginnings of the songs, while the power-off sounds are typically the ends. The swing sounds are slower groove-style riffs, and the spins are faster, more upbeat riffs. The clash sounds are transitions and percussive segments, and the stabs are riffs that lead up to abrupt stops. The lockup sounds are the fastest, most aggressive passages in the album. The force and combo sounds are both segments with vocals, with the force sounds being shorter and the combo sounds being longer. I have included a link to the full version of this video in the description below. Downloading all the files is easy. Click on the link provided in the forum post or the video description entitled darkpath.media/lightning. And you will be taken here to the files in my Dropbox. Here, you will see 3 folders in the main directory: Effects, Fonts, and Sounds. The font file and all effects files are for users who have Sabers equipped with the UltraSabers Diamond controller. If you don't have a Diamond Saber, you can head straight to the sound files download, enjoy all the sounds, and can skip the rest of this video. If you do have a Diamond Saber, however, there is a lot for you in this download, and the rest of the video will showcase all of it. You can pick and choose what you want, of course, but the easiest thing to do is click on the main directory and download the entire collection. The files are not especially large, and you may find that having all the additional effects provides you with flexibility and a wealth of customization options.
For example, if you have multiple diamond-equipped sabers, it's feasible to have a completely different version of lightning on each of them. Without further ado, let's open up the UltraSabers launcher software and take a closer look at this union between Metal Mastery and the Living Force. Alright, the launcher software has recognized the saber. Let's open the font wizard and check out everything included in the default font file, starting with the tag or boot effect. I'll resize the window to make it as large as possible and open up the LED automation control so you can see how the effects are configured. The effects are shown in real time on my Guardian Saber, which is featured on the right side of the screen. Boot number 2 is the default boot sound. Let's check it out.
Ride the lightning!
This sound is a mix of audio from the song Ride the Lightning
And Metallica frontman James Hetfield introducing the song from a live recording.
onto the power on effect. The default sound is power on number 4,
Which is a modified version of the bell intro from the song For Whom the Bell Tolls.
moving on to the power off effect. Power off number 2 is the default, and it was taken from the conclusion of the title track.
Now, for the idle or hum effect. Hum number 1 is the default,
But there are a total of 22 different hum sounds and accompanying effects, which we'll see a little later. Hum number 1 is the classic sustained E chord, which is meant to provide the most seamless transition between all the motion sounds. The LED effect fades gradually between deep blue and a subtle deep purple, which, like all the effects, are designed to mimic the cover art for Ride the Lightning. Next, we have the swing effects grouping. 15 of the available 40 swing sounds are featured in the
solitary swing effects file, and 15 is the maximum allowable by the launcher software.
You can mix and match these sounds to your liking. These are just my personal favorites. Let's take a look at a few of them. The impact or clash effects grouping is next, and it is configured
Very similarly to the swing effects grouping, with 15 of the available 35 clash sounds featured. I have included accent LED sequences for all clash effects,
so that you can visually differentiate them from swing effects. Like the swing effects, the clash effects feature flashes of white to represent lightning, but are more prominent and shorter here. The spin effect is also a grouping of several different sounds, in this case, featuring 14 of the available 16 spin sounds. With the spins being representative of the faster, more upbeat portions of the album, the accompanying LED effects reflect that.
Moving on now to the stab effects grouping, which features 15 of the available 20 stab sounds.
The LED effects feature a bright white flash in the beginning, which then fades gradually to a light blue and purple. The force effect features a single sound, but fear not, there are 5 force sounds included in the complete download that you can choose from. The default force sound is force number 2,
which is taken from the chorus of the song For Whom the Bell Tolls.
The lockup effect also features a single sound as determined by the launcher software. There are, of course, additional sounds and effects to choose from here as well, which we will take a look at in the extra effects portion of the video. You can see in the video and in the LED automation control
that effects have also been configured for the accent LED.
Finally, let's take a look at each of the 5 gesture effects allowable on the Diamond controller, starting with gesture number 1, featuring combo number 1. Combo number 1 is from the first verse of the title track, Ride the Lightning. Gesture number 2 features combo number 5,
which is from the second verse of the song For Whom the Bell Tolls. The LED sequences for all of the combo and force effects
are designed to match the beats and/or vocal rhythms of the passages.
Take a look to the sky just before you die. It's the last time you will.
Gesture number 3 features combo number 6, which is from the first verse of the song Fade to Black. Being a lighter song in the verses, the LED effects are slower and more gradual. Combo number 9 is in the gesture 4 position and features a portion of the chorus from the song Creeping Death. And finally, to round out the default font file, here's combo number 10 in the gesture number 5 position. This is taken from the breakdown of Creeping Death,
which has long been a memorable part of Metallica concerts.
That is everything included in the default font file, entitled simply Lightning. If you don't wish to customize and prefer to just plug in your Saber and go, just load up this Lightning font file and you're done. You will notice that the download includes 3 font files: Lightning, Lightning 2, and Lightning NA LED. Lightning 2 is very similar to Lightning. The primary difference is that the hum sound has been changed from hum number 1 to hum number 6, which is a unique mix of the bell sound from For Whom the Bell Tolls with an underlying deep hum consisting of a modified isolated bass tone from Cliff Burton himself. Lightning NA LED stands for No Accent LED. This font file is identical to the regular Lightning font file, but has the accent LED for the illuminated AV switch turned off for all effects. You might ask, why would I do this? It's really a personal preference that I developed when trying out this font on Sabers with illuminated AV switches and colors not complementary to blue and purple. For illuminated switches in green and particularly red, I found that these colors contrasted poorly with the colors of the effects in the Lightning font, so I created a version without accent LED effects. The font and effects work exactly the same, it's just as if you chose not to purchase the illuminated AV switch when this font is loaded. Alright, this next and final section covers each of the additional effects above and beyond the default font file, and there are many. I'm biased, of course, and as such, I think it's worth the watch. However, I understand it's a long video, and if you wish to just dive in and begin playing with this font on your Saber, you get the gist of it by now. All of that said, for those of you who wish to see more of this Metallica goodness, watching the following demonstration of all the extra sounds and effects included in the Lightning package is much quicker than loading them into the software and checking them out for yourself. So, for those still here, let us proceed. We will start out with all of the tag or boot effects, of which there are a total of 5. Boot number 2 is the default, so we will start with boot number 1. Boot number 1 is a live recording of Metallica frontman James
Hetfield introducing the song Ride the Lightning.
Ride the lightning!
Skipping default number 2, here's boot number 3, which again features Mr. Hetfield introducing Ride the Lightning, but from a much older concert.
Ride the lightning!
Boot number 4 is the same as 3, but with music from the title track mixed in.
Ride the lightning!
The 5th and final boot features the mighty Het once again, this time right before performing the Kill Ride medley from the Cunning Stunts live DVD.
Who's got Ride the lightning? Show me!
Moving on now to the Power On effects, starting with Power On number 1. Power On effects typically represent the beginnings of the songs. Power On number 1 is from the very beginning of the song Fight Fire with Fire, which is the very beginning of the Ride the Lightning album. Power On number 2 is also from the beginning of Fight Fire with Fire, featuring the guitar swell into the heavy portion of the song. Power On number 3 is from the very beginning of the title track, Ride the Lightning, featuring the iconic dual guitar melody and thunderous toms. Skipping the default Power On number 4, here is Power On number 5. Power On number 5 features the world-famous bell from the song
For Whom the Bell Tolls, leading into the initial riff of the song.
Power On number 6 is the same as number 5, but with the bell intro removed, for those who prefer shorter Power On sounds. Power On number 7 is super short, the shortest sound in the package in fact. It's from the very beginning of the song, Escape. Power On number 8 is also extremely short, taken from the very beginning of the song, Trapped Under Ice. Moving on to Power On number 9. This one features the opening segment of the song, Creeping Death. Excellent dark side material. Wrapping up the Power On sounds and effects is Power On number 10, featuring the building dynamics into the main heavy portion of the song,
The Call of Cthulhu.
The Power Off effects are next, which are generally representative of the ends of the songs. Let's go ahead and load up Power Off number 1, which not only features the conclusion of the song Fight Fire with Fire, but also has the first instance of LED colors other than blue, purple, and white. A deep yellow color transitioning into blazing red accompanies the explosion audio. Skipping the default Power Off number 2, we'll move on to Power Off number 3. Power Off number 3 is one exception to the ending rule, featuring a modified mix of the beginning of
For Whom the Bell Tolls with a cascading delay effect that decays and fades out.
Power Off number 4 is a short one, taken from the very ending of the song, Trapped Under Ice. As is the case with combo and force effects, the LED sequences for Power On and Power Off effects are also designed to match the rhythm of the music. Power Off number 5 is a longer one, utilizing the extended closing portion of the classic song, Creeping Death. sixth and final power-off effect is the longest of them all, featuring the epic conclusion to The Call of Cthulhu, and as it happens, the conclusion of the entire album. Now, we get to go through the remaining 21 of the 22 total included hum sounds. You heard that correctly. 22 individual hum sounds. Now is a good time to grab a refreshment of your choice because this could take a while. Seriously though, this of course was not the intention. However, there are so many classic songs and riffs on this album, and I know from experience, everyone has their own favorite. Combine all of that with a handful of original mixes and variations, and I ended up with 22 different sounds. This also meant that 22 unique LED effect sequences were necessary, which may help explain the delay in releasing this font package to those who patiently waited for such a long time. Hum number 1 is the default, so we'll begin with hum number 2. Hum number 2 is an original mix, utilizing the bell and opening riff from the song For Whom the Bell Tolls. Hum number 3 is similar to number 2, but double the length, with the noticeable difference being the addition of thunder and lightning sound effects. Hum number 4 has the same chorus segment from For Whom the Bell Tolls, but is the first to feature the deep hum tone, which is actually a modified segment from an isolated recording of Cliff Burton's bass guitar. You may notice that these initial original mixes build upon one another. In that fashion, hum number 5 has all the elements of hum number 4, but with the lightning sounds reintroduced. Perhaps my favorite of them all, hum number 6 is the unstable one I referred to earlier, and the sole reason that the Lightning 2 font file was created.
The LEDs flicker rapidly to mimic an unstable blade in a similar fashion as I did for Son of Darkness.
Hum number 7 features an extended mix of the opening guitar riff following the clean intro and swell from the song Fight Fire with Fire. Hum number 8 features the classic opening guitar and bass riff from the song For Whom the Bell Tolls. Hum number 9 is the same as number 8, but a bit later in the intro of the song when the drum beat kicks in. The LED effect pulses along with the time signature. Hum number 10 is a bit later even, featuring the repetitive guitar solo drone portion of the intro to the same song. number 11 is identical to 10, but concludes with the drum roll transition into the main riff of the same song. For Whom the Bell Tolls is a very popular Metallica song,
and as such, several options have been included.
Hum number 12 is the iconic and beautiful main guitar riff from the classic song Fade to Black, on its own with nothing else. It's absolutely gorgeous and could not be omitted from a collection that bears the name Ride the Lightning. But, admittedly, without any percussion, this is likely an awkward choice for a hum sound, given how it contrasts with all the other, more aggressive motion sounds. Hum number 13 is exactly the same as 12, but concludes with the drum roll transition into the portion where the beat kicks in. Hum number 14 is the portion of the song where the drum beat kicks in.
Moving on to hum number 15, which comes from the intro guitar riff to the song Trapped Under Ice.
Getting a little closer to the end of this extensive collection of hum sounds, hum number 16 features the isolated intro guitar riff to the beloved classic Creeping Death. As is the case for a few of the previous hum sounds, hum number 17 is the same as 16, but with the drum roll transition into the main portion of the song.
And, in case you would like to use it as a hum sound, and not just a swing sound, hum number 18 features that world-famous breakdown portion from Creeping Death.
The last four hum sounds are for everyone, of course, but primarily inspired by a forum user by the name of
Cthulhu1347, whose username is inspired by The Call of Cthulhu, the song in which they were taken.
The first of these is hum number 19, which is from the very beginning of the aforementioned song. Similar to hum number 12, isolated guitar without percussion may very well prove to be an odd hum sound selection for the same reason, but it's here for Cthulhu 1347 and for general experimentation. Understanding that lack of percussion may be an issue, hum number 20 is designed to overcome that. It has the same passage as 19, but I mixed in a kick drum and cymbal impact along with bass guitar at the very beginning. Hum number 21 again features an isolated guitar from the beginning of the song, but with the natural ending just before the key change. And to close out this probably too extensive collection of hum sounds, Hum number 22 features the key change portion of the opening clean guitar riff from the same song, and final entry of the album, Ride the Lightning. There are a total of 40 swing sounds, and only 15 of them are in the default font file. But since the LED effects are the same, there are no additional swing effect groupings included in this package. You can simply mix and match the swing sounds you want, replace sounds that are currently in the default font file, and save them as Swing 2, Swing 3, etc. There is no way to anticipate the preference of individual users, so I figured I would leave that customization to you.
I leave that to you.
Such is the same with the impact or clash, spin, and stab effect groupings. There are a bunch more impact or clash sounds to work with, and slightly less sounds for spins and stabs respectively in terms of customization. There are some additional force effects, so we'll go over those now, beginning with Force number 1. Force number 1 is an abridged version of Combo number 1, featuring the first half of the first verse from the title track, Ride the Lightning. Skipping over the default Force number 2, Force number 3 is from the second half of the chorus from the song, For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Force number 4 is from the last portion of the chorus from the song, Trapped Under Ice.
Just like all the combo effects, the LED sequences here in the force effects are designed to match the tempo of the audio segments. The fifth and final force effect features the opening vocal segment of the first verse in the song, Creeping Death. Moving on now to the lockup effects, of which there are 6. All of these are pretty short, and we will move through them in expedient fashion. Let's start with lockup number 1, which is taken from a transition riff in the breakdown portion of the title track and kept short for looping. Lockup number 2 is the same segment, but even shorter for a more jarring and violent effect. Lockup number 3 is another short and fast segment taken from the build-up to the initial intro solo from the song, Trapped Under Ice. It's so short, let's see it again. Lockup number 4 is another short piece from the very ending of Trapped Under Ice. And again. And the final lockup effect we haven't yet seen, lockup number 5 features the galloping build-up riff to the main solo in the song Trapped Under Ice. Alright, we are now at the final portion of the extra effects showcase and the final portion of this video, which is the remaining combo effects. Here we go. With combo number 1 being part of the default, we'll start with combo number 2. Combo number 2 is from the transition or bridge portion of the title track, Ride the Lightning. Moving on to combo number 3. Combo number 3 is an immediate successor to number 2, following that bridge portion and showcasing the first segment of the chorus from the same song. Moving right along in sequence, combo number 4 features the second segment of the chorus from Ride the Lightning. Skipping over combo number 6, which is part of the default font file, let's check out combo number 7. Combo number 7 is an elegant and memorable composition from the enduring classic, Fade to Black. On now to combo number 8, which is from the chorus of a song that Metallica themselves never much cared for. The record company mandated attempt at a quote-unquote radio hit, Escape. Combos 9 and 10 are both included in the default font file, which we've already seen, so let's move on to combo number 11. Combo number 11 features a portion of the main guitar solo from The Call of Cthulhu. And now, the final combo effect and the final effect demonstration of this entire video. Let's close things out with combo number 12. Combo number 12 appropriately closes out the collection with the conclusion of the song that closes out this classic album, The Call of Cthulhu. Alright folks, that is it. As you look through all of the included sounds in the download, you will notice some files that were not covered here, specifically 5 blaster sounds and 1 color sound. My font packages have been and always will be free for all my friends here at saberforum.com. But, as you may or may not be aware, I do have Son of Darkness for sale at www.saberfont.com for people who have sabers from the other guys. While I do have 10 UltraSabers, which is far and away the most from any manufacturer, I also have some sabers from the other guys. These extra sounds are included for any of you that may utilize sabers made by those other guys. That said, for any of you who don't, the blaster sounds can be easily used as alternative force sounds. As promised, I would like to make a shout out to some special forum users who have encouraged me throughout the process of preparing the Lightning font package, and who have been remarkably patient waiting for it to be released.
Those special people are as follows. Cthulhu 1347,
who was the first to comment on the possibility of Ride the Lightning being the next album to be the basis of a sound font after Hardwired. Not exactly sure how to pronounce it.
Infinite 01 or Infinity?
Nevertheless, he has always encouraged me in my font making. He was the first person to interact with me and make me feel at home here at saberforum.com, and through dedicated practice, has developed a very impressive talent in saber spinning. He has his own thread here on the forum entitled Infinity Spinning Corner, where there is a complete chronology of his training from beginner to master.
Bat Mike 90,
who is an accomplished font creator himself, and even given his own great talent, has always encouraged me.
Rapine,
and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, made his first comments of all my font threads on this one specifically, so I appreciate the support. And finally,
Kaiser Sose,
who has been perhaps the most eager and most consistently supportive person throughout this process. Knowing I had fallen well behind schedule on this font and feeling some pressure to get it done, Kaiser Sose was always quick to say, "Take your time." I shouldn't neglect to mention that Kaiser has also delved into making his own sound fonts, and he's doing a great job. There have been others who showed support for my previous fonts, so please know that I appreciate you as well. I am happy to offer this font package to all of you, and I sincerely hope you enjoy it. As always, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any issues at all acquiring this download. Contact me with a post reply below or via a private message, and I'll make sure the package gets to you one way or another. As a little bonus for anyone interested, I have included screen capture video of a very small portion of the cutting and editing process in the development of Lightning, which will roll immediately following the closing music and logo.
This is Eric from Dark Path Media. Thank you once again, and may the Force be with you.